I sit at the kitchen table, staring at the calendar on my phone, counting the days since Mira left for her business trip to Boston. 17 years of marriage, and this is the longest she's ever been gone. 2 weeks already, with no clear end in sight. The house feels quieter without her, even with Julian slouched over his phone and Piper bouncing around like a tornado of glitter and giggles. It's late. The kids should be in bed, but tonight's different. I've got an idea brewing, something big, something that makes my chest warm just thinking about it. I want to surprise Mira. I want to see her face light up the way it used to when we were younger, before work and kids and life piled up between us. Hey, guys, I say, leaning forward, resting my elbows on the table. Piper stops mid-whirl, her pigtails swinging, and Julian barely lifts his eyes from his screen. What if we go see Mom in Boston? Like, right now? A surprise. Piper's whole face explodes with excitement, her little voice shrieking. Yes. Yes. Daddy, let's go. It's the purest sound I've heard in days, and it makes me grin despite the exhaustion tugging at me. Julian, though, he's 16, too cool for most things, lowers his phone just enough to meet my gaze. For real? He asks, one eyebrow cocked, but there's a flicker in his eyes, something like interest. That's enough for me. I nod, already pulling up flight options on my laptop. For real. She's been gone too long. Let's bring the family to her. Piper claps her hands, practically vibrating, and Julian shrugs like it's no big deal, but I catch the hint of a smirk. He's in. I spend the next hour juggling logistics, calling my boss to cash in some overdue vacation days, booking 3 last-minute tickets, packing bags with Piper, helping by stuffing her favorite stuffed bunny into every suitcase. My mind's racing, picturing it all. Mira opening her hotel door, her jaw dropping, then that laugh of hers spilling out as she pulls us into a hug. It's been a while since I've seen her really smile, not just the tired one she gives me over coffee before work. Lately, it's like we're roommates more than anything else, passing each other in the hallway, trading quick updates about the kids. This trip, though, it's going to fix that. It's going to remind us what we've got. I can feel it. Dad, what if she's busy? Julian asks, lounging against the counter as I zip up the last bag. He's got that tone, the one that says he's poking at me, testing. She's always busy, I say, brushing it off. But she'll make time for this. For us. He doesn't argue, just nods, and Piper's already chattering about showing Mom the drawings she's made while she's been gone. I can see it so clearly. Myra's hotel room, the 4 of us crammed in, maybe ordering pizza, laughing like we used to on those rare nights when everything lined up just right. The next morning, we're at the airport, bleary-eyed but buzzing. Piper's clutching her bunny, skipping through the terminal, and Julian's got his earbuds in, but he's helping with the bags without me asking. I'm proud of them, my team, my crew. On the plane, I let Piper have the window seat, and she presses her nose to the glass as we take off, whispering, "We're flying to Mommy." My heart does a little flip. I lean back, closing my eyes, imagining Myra's reaction. She's been working so hard, late nights, early mornings, all those calls she takes in the other room. She deserves this. We deserve this. I text her from the air, "Miss you. Hope you're crushing it out there." No reply, but that's normal. She's probably in a meeting, charming some client with that quick wit of hers. I tuck my phone away and glance at the kids. Piper's drawing a picture of us landing in Boston, and Julian's staring out the window now, lost in his own head. I wonder what he's thinking, but I don't ask. He'll tell me when he's ready. When we land, the crisp Boston air hits us, and Piper's giggling about how cold it is compared to home. I hail a cab, give the driver the name of Myra's hotel, some fancy place downtown she texted me about last week. My stomach's doing flips now, not nerves exactly, but something close. Excitement, maybe, mixed with a need to see her, to hold her, to make this work. The kids are chattering in the back seat, Piper asking if we can get hot chocolate, Julian wondering if Boston has good burgers. I'm half listening, half planning. We'll check in, drop our bags, then head straight to her room. I've got the number memorized, 718. She mentioned it in passing. I picture her opening the door, her dark hair pulled back, that surprised little gasp she does when something catches her off guard. This is it, guys, I say as the cab pulls up to the hotel, a sleek building with glass doors and a doorman who nods at us. Piper grabs my hand, Julian slings his backpack over his shoulder, and we step inside. My heart's pounding now, full of hope, full of love. This is going to be perfect. A moment we'll talk about for years. Remember that time Dad dragged us to Boston to surprise Mom? I can already hear Piper telling the story, her voice bright and fast. I lead them to the elevator, press the button, and take a deep breath. Here we go. The hotel lobby smells like expensive candles and polished wood as I heard Julian and Piper toward the front desk, our suitcases clattering behind us. Piper's still buzzing from the flight, tugging at my sleeve and asking if we can surprise Mom with cookies, while Julian's got his hands in his pockets, scanning the room like he's looking for something to criticize. I'm distracted, though. My phone's been silent since we landed. I've called Mira twice, texted her once, nothing heavy, just a quick hey, how's your day? To feel her out. No answer. She's busy, I tell myself, rubbing the back of my neck as we step up to the counter. She's always busy on these trips. Meetings, dinners, shaking hands with people who matter. That's why we're here, right? To break through all that noise. The receptionist, a young woman with a name tag that says Alyssa, smiles at us, her fingers hovering over her keyboard. Checking in, she asks, and I nod, giving her my name. And, can you tell me if my wife's still checked in? Mira Ellis, room 718. Alyssa's eyes flick to her screen, and I catch a quick shift in her expression, nothing big, just a tiny crease between her brows. Yes, she's still here, she says, then hesitates. With a +1. The words hit me like a punch I didn't see coming, but I keep my face steady, forcing a smile for Piper's sake. +1. I ask, casual as I can manage. Alyssa nods, already tapping away again. Yeah, she booked an extra room next to hers. I can get you the key for yours. It's right across the hall. She slides it over, and Piper's already bouncing, oblivious, saying, Daddy, let's go see Mommy now. But Julian's watching me, his eyes narrow, like he's picking up on something I'm trying not to show. Thanks, I mutter to Alyssa, grabbing the key, but she leans forward a little, lowering her voice. I shouldn't have said that. The +1 thing. Sorry. Her cheeks flush, and she busies herself with some papers. I wave it off, acting like it's no big deal, but my gut's twisting as we head to the elevator. In the car on the way up, Piper's chattering about how surprised Mom's gonna be, and I'm nodding along, forcing out a, yeah, kiddo, she'll love it. But my head's somewhere else. +1. What does that even mean? Another coworker? A client? Myra's never mentioned anyone tagging along on this trip, not in the quick calls we've had or the texts she's sent, mostly short updates, long day, miss you guys, that kind of thing. I shake it off, telling myself I'm overthinking. She's been gone 2 weeks. I'm just antsy, missing her, letting my imagination run wild. The elevator dings, and we step into the hallway, a long stretch of carpet and soft lights. Our room's 719, right across from hers. Perfect, I think, picturing us knocking on her door in 10 minutes, her face lighting up. I unlock our door, and Piper barrels in, tossing her bunny on the bed and claiming the spot by the window. Julian drops his bag and flops onto the other bed, pulling out his phone. You good, Dad? He asks, not looking up. Yeah, I lie, setting my suitcase down. Just gonna call Mom again, let her know we're close. I step into the hall, shutting the door behind me and dial her number. Straight to voicemail. Her voice, calm, professional, tells me to leave a message. Hey, babe, it's me. Just checking in. Call me when you get this. I hang up, staring at my phone, willing it to buzz. Nothing. My thumb hovers over her name again, but I stop myself. She's probably in the shower, or on a call, or something. I head back inside, where Piper's already unpacking her crayons, and Julian's still glued to his screen. She didn't pick up? I say, keeping my tone light. Must be busy. Julian grunts, a sound that could mean anything, and Piper looks up, all big eyes and hope. Can we go knock now, Daddy? I hesitate, glancing at the clock. It's late afternoon. She could be out, or napping, or, let's give her a little bit, I say. We'll surprise her soon. I try to settle in, unpacking my stuff, helping Piper set up her drawing spot, but my mind's stuck on that +1. I keep seeing Alyssa's face, that quick apology, like she'd let something slip she wasn't supposed to. I tell myself it's nothing, a misunderstanding, a glitch in the system. Myra's here for work, not some secret getaway. But the silence from her phone gnaws at me, and Julian's not helping. He keeps sneaking looks at me, like he's waiting for me to crack. What? I finally snap, quieter than I mean to. He shrugs. You're acting weird. I laugh, but it sounds forced even to me. Just tired, bud. Long flight. He doesn't buy it. I can tell, but he lets it go, and I'm grateful. Piper's humming now, coloring a picture of us hugging Mom, and I focus on that, on her little hands moving across the page. This is why we're here. For her. For us. I grab my phone again, shoot Mira a text. Hey, you around? Miss you. I wait, watching the screen. No dots, no reply. My chest tightens, but I push it down, turning to the kids. All right, let's get settled. We'll see her soon. Piper cheers, Julian nods, and I sit on the edge of the bed, staring at the door across the hall, 718, like it's hiding something I'm not ready to face. The storm's building inside me, slow and heavy, but I keep it locked up. For now, I've got to hold it together. For them. I stand in the hallway, staring at the door to room 718, my knuckles hovering an inch from the wood. The kids are back in our room. Piper's coloring, Julian's sprawled out with his phone, and I told them I'd be right back, just stepping out to check something. My heart's thudding, loud enough I swear it's echoing off the walls, and I can't shake the weight that's been sitting on me since Alyssa's slip at the desk. +1. I knock, a sharp rap, then wait. Nothing. I knock again, harder this time, and I hear it. Faint music drifting from inside, some slow beat I don't recognize. My phone's in my hand, and I fire off a text. I'm outside your hotel door. I watch the screen, waiting for those little dots to show she's typing back. Nothing. The silence stretches, and I'm about to knock a third time when the door swings open. There she is, Mira, my wife, standing there in a white bathrobe, her hair damp like she just stepped out of the shower. Her eyes go wide. Then her face crumples, not with joy, not with surprise, but with something else. Guilt. Maybe, or panic. Tom, she says, her voice shaky, and before I can answer, I see him. A guy, standing a few feet behind her, shirtless, holding a glass of something dark. My stomach drops, and the air feels like it's gone thick, hard to breathe. What the hell? I manage, my voice low, rough. Mira steps forward, pulling the door half closed behind her, like that's gonna hide what I've already seen. Tom, I didn't know you were coming, she stammers, and I just stare at her, at the woman I've loved for 17 years, trying to make sense of this. Who's that? I ask, nodding toward the guy, keeping my tone flat even though my hands are shaking. She glances back, then at me, and I see her swallow hard. Colin Mercer, from the Chicago office. Her words come out fast, like she's rehearsed them, but they don't land right. The guy, Colin, steps closer, looking confused, scratching the back of his neck. Hi, he says, awkward, like he's walked into the wrong room. Didn't know she was married. That hits me harder than it should, a knife twisting in my chest. He didn't know? She didn't tell him. I look at Mira, waiting for her to say something, anything, to fix this, but she just stands there, clutching the edge of her robe, her eyes darting between us. Tom, let me explain, she starts, but I cut her off with a shake of my head. Not now. I say, my voice barely above a whisper. I can't do this here, not with him watching, not with the kids waiting across the hall. I turn and walk away, my legs moving on autopilot, back to our room. The music fades behind me, but it's still ringing in my ears when I push open the door to 719. Piper's there, bouncing up the second she sees me. Daddy, did you find Mommy? Can we go see her now? Her voice is so bright, so full of hope, it almost breaks me right there. I force a smile, crouching down to her level, ruffling her hair. Yeah, sweetie, she's just busy. We'll see her soon, okay? She nods, satisfied, and goes back to her crayons, humming that little tune she loves. Julian's on the bed, though, and he's not buying it. He sits up, pulling one earbud out, his eyes locked on mine. What's wrong? He asks, quiet enough that Piper doesn't catch it. I stand, running a hand through my hair, trying to figure out how to answer. Nothing, bud. Just tired. He doesn't push, but I can tell he knows I'm full of it. His jaw tightens, and he slides the earbud back in, but his gaze stays on me for a second longer before he looks away. I drop onto the edge of the bed, staring at the carpet, replaying it all. Mira in that robe, Colin's dumb, confused face, the way she didn't even try to deny it. My world's not crashing down. Not yet. It's shattering, piece by piece, and I'm just sitting here watching it happen. I don't know how long I stay like that, lost in my head, but Piper's voice pulls me out. Daddy, look. I drew Mommy with us. She holds up her picture, 4 stick figures, me, her, Julian, and Mira, all holding hands under a big yellow sun. My throat closes up, and I manage a "that's beautiful, kiddo," but it's all I can get out. I want to scream, to throw something, to march back to 718 and demand answers, but I can't. Not with Piper here, her little world still intact. I glance at Julian, and he's watching me again, silent, like he's waiting for me to decide what happens next. I don't have a clue. All I know is I've got to keep it together, at least for tonight. Let's order some food, I say, standing up, grabbing the room service menu. Pizza sound good? Piper cheers, Julian shrugs, and I dial the number, my voice steady even though everything inside me's shaking. The image of Mira and that guy's burned into me now, and I don't know how I'm gonna face her again, how I'm gonna pretend for Piper's sake. But I've got to. I've got no choice. The phone rings, and I wait, holding on to the last thread of normal I've got left. I'm sitting on the edge of the hotel bed, watching Piper scribble on her drawing while Julian picks at the last slice of pizza, when there's a knock at the door. My stomach flips. I know it's her before I even stand up. I take a deep breath, smooth my shirt like it's gonna make me feel less wrecked, and open the door. Myra's there, looking like she's pulled herself together, hair brushed, jeans and a sweater, no trace of that bathrobe. Her eyes meet mine, and for a second, I see the woman I married, the one I'd planned this whole trip for. Then it's gone, replaced by something guarded, something I don't recognize. "Hey," she says, soft, like she's testing the water. Before I can answer, Piper's voice cuts through, "Mommy." She's off the bed in a flash, throwing herself at Myra's legs, wrapping her arms around her like she's been gone a year instead of 2 weeks. Mira smiles down at her, real and warm, and it twists something in me. How can she look so normal after what I saw? "Hi, baby," she says, crouching to hug Piper back, and I step aside, letting her in. Julian's still on the bed, though, and he doesn't move, just watches her, his face blank but his eyes sharp. I catch it, that wariness, and I know he's clocked something's off too. "Mommy, we came to surprise you." Piper's bouncing now, tugging at Myra's hand, pulling her toward the little table where her drawings are spread out. "Look, I made this for you." Mira follows, nodding and smiling as Piper babbles on, but her eyes keep flicking to me, quick little glances like she's waiting for me to explode. I don't. Not yet. "That's so sweet, Pipes," she says, ruffling her hair, then straightens up, turning to me. "Tom, I didn't expect this." Her voice is careful, and I force a shrug, keeping it light for Piper's sake. "Yeah, well, we missed you. Thought it'd be fun." It's a lie, and she knows it. My tone's too flat, too hollow, but Piper's still beaming, oblivious, and that's all that matters right now. Julian sets his pizza crust down, slow, deliberate, and I can feel his eyes on us, picking apart every word. "You guys hungry?" Mira asks, gesturing at the pizza box. "We just ate," I say, and she nods, awkward, like she's run out of small talk. "I was gonna take you all to dinner," I add, testing her, "but you've got that client meeting, right?" Her face freezes for a split second, then she recovers, smooth as ever. "Yeah, tonight. Last-minute thing." "I'm sorry." The lie hangs there, heavy, and I taste metal in my mouth, bitter and sharp. Piper pouts, sticking out her bottom lip. "No fair. I wanted mommy time." Mira kneels again, brushing Piper's cheek. "Tomorrow, okay? I promise." Julian snorts, quiet enough that only I catch it, and I shoot him a look, "Not now." I excuse it all away, playing the part. "It's fine, Pipes. Mom's got work. We'll hang out here, maybe watch a movie." Piper grumbles but nods, and Mira stands, smoothing her sweater like she's brushing off the tension. "Thanks, Tom," she says, and I just nod, not trusting myself to say more. She lingers for a minute, chatting with Piper about her drawings, but I can feel the clock ticking. She's itching to leave, and I'm itching to call her out. Finally, she heads for the door, promising Piper she'll see us tomorrow, and I follow her into the hall, shutting the door behind me so the kids don't hear. "Tom, wait," she says before I can open my mouth, her voice low, urgent. "Don't tell them yet. Please." She's begging, her eyes wide, and it's the first real crack I've seen in her since that bathrobe moment. "Tell them what?" I say, keeping my voice steady, but she knows what I mean. "About earlier. I'll explain everything, I swear. Just not tonight." I stare at her, at the woman I've built my life with, and all I can see is Colin Mercer's confused face, that glass in his hand. "I won't lie to them," I say finally, the only promise I can make. She nods, quick, like she's won something, and turns to go. Mira, I call after her, and she stops, half looking back. That meeting, it's not real, is it? She doesn't answer, just keeps walking, and the door to 718 clicks shut behind her. Back in the room, Piper's already picking out a movie on the TV, chattering about princesses and dragons, and I sink onto the bed, rubbing my face. Julian's still watching me, silent, but his glare shifted toward the door now, too. You okay, Dad? He asks, low, and I nod, even though I'm not. Yeah, just need a minute. He doesn't push, just turns back to his phone, but I know he's with me, holding the line. Piper climbs into my lap, snuggling close, and I wrap an arm around her, anchoring myself to her warmth. The cracks in me are deep now, splitting wider every second, but I can't let them see. Not yet. The TV flickers on, some bright cartoon starting up, and I stare at it, pretending the pizza doesn't taste like ash, pretending my wife didn't just lie to my face, pretending I didn't just catch her with another man. For Piper, I'll keep it up. For Julian, I'll stay strong. But inside, it's all breaking, and I don't know how long I can hold the pieces together. I wake up to Piper's little snores beside me, her head tucked against my arm, the hotel blanket tangled around her legs. Julian sprawled on the other bed, one earbud still in, his phone glowing faintly on his chest. The room's quiet except for the hum of the heater, but my head's loud, too loud, replaying last night over and over. Mira in that robe, Colin's dumb face, her fake excuse about a meeting. I slide out from under Piper, careful not to wake her, and grab my phone from the nightstand. No texts, no calls. Just the time blinking at me, 7:12 a.m. I rub my eyes, feeling the weight of it all settle in my bones, and decide I can't sit here stewing. The kids need something normal today, something good. I pull on my jacket, splash water on my face in the bathroom, and when I come out, Julian's stirring, blinking at me through the morning haze. You up already? He mumbles, sitting up slow. Yeah, I say, keeping my voice low so Piper stays asleep. Thought we'd get out, see some of Boston. Harbor's not far. He nods, rubbing his neck, and I can tell he's reading me, checking for cracks. Cool, he says, and that's that, no questions, no pushing. I'm grateful for it. Piper's harder to wake, grumbling as I shake her shoulder, but once I mention boats and hot chocolate, she's up, tugging on her shoes with sleepy excitement. We're out the door by 8, the crisp air hitting us as we step outside the hotel. I don't look at 718 as we pass. Don't want to, but I feel it there, like a shadow hanging over me. The walk to Boston Harbor's short, just a few blocks, and Piper's skipping ahead, her pigtails bouncing, pointing at every seagull she sees. Daddy, look. They're so fat. She giggles, and I manage a laugh, real enough to keep her happy. Julian's beside me, hands in his pockets, quiet but steady. The harbor comes into view, water glinting under a gray sky, boats bobbing along the docks, and Piper's off, darting toward the railing, calling for us to hurry up. I let her lead, hanging back with Julian, watching the waves roll in. It's peaceful, or it should be, but my head's still a mess, and I know he can tell. We stop by a bench, Piper a few feet ahead, waving at a passing yacht, and Julian sits, patting the spot next to him. I drop down, staring out at the water, waiting for him to say something. He doesn't disappoint. Is she cheating? He asks, voice low, straight to the point. I freeze, my hands gripping the edge of the bench, and turn to look at him. His face is calm, but his eyes, those are mine, sharp and searching, are locked on me, waiting. He's not a kid anymore, not really, and I can't dodge this. Yeah, I say, simple, no sugar on it. I think so. He nods, slow, like he'd already figured it out, and looks back at the harbor. Saw it last night, he says. The way she acted. All fake. I swallow hard, the truth sitting heavy between us. You caught that, huh? He shrugs. Not hard. She didn't even try. There's a bite in his tone, anger simmering under the calm, and I feel it too, hot and tight in my chest. I walked in on her, I admit, keeping my voice steady. Some guy in her room. Said he didn't know she was married. Julian's jaw tightens, and he kicks at the ground, a small, sharp move. That's messed up, he says, and I nod, because it is. We sit there, the wind cutting across us, and I can see the pain in him, the same one tearing at me. He's strong, though stronger than I was at 16, and it hits me how much I need him right now. Piper doesn't know, I say, glancing at her as she leans over the railing, giggling at the water. Don't want her to yet. Julian follows my gaze, and his face softens, just a little. Yeah, she's too little for this crap. I nod, and we don't say it out loud, but it's there, a pact, unspoken but solid. We'll protect her, keep her world bright as long as we can. You okay, Dad? He asks, and I'm not sure how to answer. Getting there, I say, which is half true. He doesn't push, just sits with me, and we watch Piper chase a gull down the path, her laughter bouncing off the water. The harbor lights flicker on, early against the cloudy sky, and I try to let them distract me, try to focus on the kids instead of the hole Myra's ripped through us. What's next? Julian asks, and I shrug, staring at a yacht gliding past. We hold steady, I say. Just us. He nods, and I feel it, him stepping up, standing with me, father and son against the mess. Piper runs back, breathless, tugging at my hand. Can we get hot chocolate now? She begs, and I stand, pulling her into a quick hug. Yeah, kiddo, let's find some. We walk toward a little stand nearby, her swinging between us, and for a minute, it's almost normal, almost enough to forget the storm waiting back at the hotel. Julian grabs the cups, handing me one, and we sip in silence, the warmth cutting through the chill. I look out at the water, at my kids, and tell myself we'll get through this. Not whole, not yet, but together. That's all I've got to hold on to right now. I'm pacing the hotel room, trying to keep my hands busy out. Straightening Piper's crayons, folding her little jacket, when the knock comes. It's late, almost 9, and Piper's half asleep on the bed, her bunny clutched tight, the TV flickering with some cartoon she's barely watching. Julian's on his phone, sprawled out, but he sits up when he hears it, his eyes flicking to me. I know it's Mira. I can feel it in my gut, and I'm not ready for this. Not after the harbor, not after telling Julian the truth. But I open the door anyway, and there she is, standing in the hallway, her arms crossed like she's holding herself together. Tom, she says, quiet, her voice shaky. Can we talk? Piper stirs, blinking up at us, and I step out, pulling the door half closed behind me. She's almost out, I say, nodding back toward the room. Make it quick. Myra's eyes dart past me, then back, and she nods, fast, like she's scared I'll change my mind. What did you tell Julian? She asks, and there's an edge to it, a demand that lights something hot in my chest. What I had to, I say, keeping my voice low but hard. He asked. I didn't lie. Her face tightens, and she steps closer, her breath quick. You shouldn't have done that. He's a kid. He doesn't need this. I laugh, sharp and bitter, and it surprises even me. He's not blind, Mira. He saw you last night, all fake and dodging. He's smarter than you think. She flinches, and I see the guilt flash across her face, but she doesn't back down. I just need time, Tom, to figure this out. You can't drop this on him without what? I cut her off, stepping closer, my voice still hushed but heavy. Without asking you first? After what I walked in on. Her mouth opens, then shuts, and she looks away, down the hall towards 718, like it's calling her back. Piper's voice floats out, sleepy and small, Daddy. And I glance through the crack in the door. She's sitting up now, rubbing her eyes, and Julian's beside her, whispering something that keeps her calm. I turn back to Mira, and she's watching them too, her face softening for a second before it hardens again. Let's not do this here, she says, and I shake my head, already done with this dance. No. You wanted to talk, so talk. She sighs, sharp, and runs a hand through her hair. I didn't mean for this to happen. Any of it. I need you to give me a chance to explain. I stare at her, waiting, but she doesn't say more, just stands there, pleading with her eyes. Fine, I mutter, against every instinct screaming at me. One more shot. But not here. She nods, quick, and starts down the hall back to 718. Every step I take after her feels wrong, like I'm betraying myself, but I go anyway. Inside her room, it's different, cleaner, no trace of Colin, no glass on the table, no music playing. It's like she scrubbed it all away, but I can still see it, still feel it. She shuts the door behind me, and I stand there, arms crossed, waiting. Sit, she says, pointing to the chair by the desk, but I don't move. Just say it, Mira. She paces a little, then stops, facing me. I'm sorry you saw that. I'm sorry it happened. But it's not what you think, not all of it. I raise an eyebrow, and she keeps going, her words tumbling out fast. Colin, he's been around on these trips. We worked together, late nights, and it just happened. I didn't plan it. I don't say anything, just let her talk, let her dig. I've been lonely, Tom. You're always with the kids, or work, and I'm out here, trying to keep us afloat too. It's not an excuse, I know, but it's how long? I cut in, my voice flat. She stops, blinking at me. What? How long's it been going on? She hesitates, and that's enough. I already know it's not new. A few months, she says finally, quiet, and it lands like a brick. Months. Not a slip, not a mistake. Months. I don't yell. I want to, but I don't. The room's too small, and Piper's too close, even across the hall. You could have told me, I say instead, and it's the truth. If you were lonely, you could have said something. Not this. She nods, tears welling up, but I'm past caring about that. I know, she whispers. I messed up. I'll stop it. I'll fix it. We can go to therapy, whatever you want. I look at her, really look, and all I see is the gap between us, wider now than it's ever been. I don't know what I want, I say, honest for once. Not yet. She steps toward me, reaching out, but I back up, toward the door. Tom, please. I need to get back to the kids, I say, and that's it. I turn, walk out, and let the door click shut behind me. Back in 719, Piper's drowsy again, curled up, and Julian's sitting there, waiting. He doesn't ask, but I can feel it, the tension, thick and heavy. She's out, I say, nodding at Piper, and he nods back, his silence a wall I can't climb. I tuck her in, pulling the blanket up, and sit there, holding her little hand like it's the only thing keeping me steady. Myra's words echo months, lonely, fix it, but they don't change what I saw, what I know. I glance at Julian, his face lit by his phone, and I know he's shut her out too. We're in this together now, whether I'm ready for it or not. I'm standing in room 718 again, the door shut behind me, and it feels like a different world, sterile, empty, like Myra's wiped away every trace of last night. She's sitting on the edge of the bed, her hands clasped tight in her lap, looking at me like I'm the one who's got to say something first. I don't. I just lean against the desk, arms crossed, waiting. The kids are asleep across the hall, Piper tucked in, Julian crashed out, and I told myself I'd hear her out, give her this one last chance to explain. But my chest's tight, and every second here feels like I'm sinking deeper into something I can't climb out of. Tom, she starts, her voice soft, shaky, I need you to know I didn't want this. I don't move, don't nod, just keep my eyes on her, letting her talk. Colin, it wasn't planned. It started a few trips back. Late nights, drinks after meetings, and I don't know, I just let it happen. She looks down at her hands, twisting her fingers together, and I feel the air shift, heavy with what's coming. It wasn't just once, she says, quieter now, like she's scared to let it out. It's been going on. Over multiple trips. My jaw clenches, but I don't say anything, not yet. I need the whole picture, need to hear it all before I let the storm inside me loose. She takes a breath, pushing on. I know it's awful. I know I should have stopped it, should have told you, but I didn't. I kept telling myself it didn't mean anything, that it was just, I don't know, a break. From us. From everything. A break. The word sits there, sharp and ugly, and I can't hold it back anymore. How many times? I ask, my voice low, steady, even though my hands are balled into fists at my sides. She looks up, startled, like she didn't expect me to speak. What? How many times, Mira? I say it again, slower, and I see her flinch. She hesitates, her eyes darting away, then back to me. 3, she says finally, barely above a whisper. 3. Not one mistake, not a slip-up, 3 times she chose this, chose him. I don't yell, don't even move, but inside, it's like something snaps, clean and final. 3, I repeat, testing it out, letting it settle. And you're telling me it didn't mean anything? She shakes her head, fast, tears starting to spill over. It didn't. It doesn't. I swear, Tom, it's you I want, you, and the kids. I got lost. I look at her, really look, and it's like I'm seeing her for the first time, not my wife, not the mother of my kids, but someone else, someone who's been living a life I didn't know about. You blame me, I say, not a question, just a fact. She blinks, confused. What? You said it, our distance, my focus on work, the kids. You're putting this on me. Her mouth opens, then shuts, and I can see her scrambling. No, that's not. I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying it's been hard. For both of us. We've been drifting, and I didn't know how to fix it. I nod, slow, letting that sink in. So you fixed it with him. It's not fair, maybe, but it's true, and she knows it. She stands, stepping toward me, her hands out like she's reaching for something to hold on to. Tom, please. I messed up. I know I did. But we can get past this. Therapy, time, whatever it takes. I'll end it with him. I'll do anything. Her voice cracks, and the tears are full on now, streaking down her face, but I don't feel the pull I used to. That part of me's gone, buried under those 3 times she just admitted to. I don't move, don't reach back. You should have ended it the first time, I say, and it's the calmest I've felt since I walked into this room. Or told me. Or anything but this. She nods, sobbing now, and I can see she's breaking, but I'm not the one to put her back together. Not anymore. What do you want, Tom? She asks, desperate, wiping at her face. Tell me what to do. I shake my head, stepping back toward the door. I don't know, but I can't give you anything right now. Not after this. She reaches for me again, but I'm already turning, my hand on the knob. Tom, wait, no. I say, firm, final. I'm done here. I walk out, let the door shut behind me, and stand in the hall for a second, breathing hard. The air's cooler out here, cleaner, and I lean against the wall, closing my eyes. 3 times. Months. Trust isn't just cracked, it's dead, and I don't know if therapy or tears can bring it back. Back in 719, the kids are still out, Piper's little snores, Julian's steady breathing, and I sit on the bed, staring at the ceiling. My head's spinning, but it's clear too, like the fog's lifted and all that's left is the truth. She chose this, over and over, and I can't unsee it. I picture us going forward, her begging, me pretending, the kids caught in the middle, and it's a future I don't want. I don't know what's next, not exactly, but I know I'm walking away from this from her. Not tonight, not with the kids here, but soon. I lie back, listening to Piper's soft sounds, and let that settle over me. It's not peace, not yet, but it's something close, a decision, a line drawn. I close my eyes, and for the first time since Boston, I don't dream of her face. Just the kids, and me, and whatever comes after. I'm up before the sun, staring at the hotel ceiling while Piper and Julian sleep, their breathing the only sound in the room. My phone's on the nightstand, silent, no text from Mira, no calls, just the time ticking toward 5:47 a.m. I can't stay here, can't sit in this hotel another day, waiting for her to knock again or pretending for Piper's sake. My head's made up. After last night, after 3 times, and her tears, I know we're done. I grab my laptop, quiet so I don't wake the kids, and pull up flight options. There's one at 9 a.m., early enough to get us out before Mira can show up with more excuses. I book it, 3 seats, and feel a weight lift, small but real. Julian stirs as I close the laptop, blinking at me in the dim light. What's up? He whispers, sitting up slow. We're leaving, I say, keeping my voice low. Flight's in a few hours. He nods, no questions, just a quick exhale like he's been holding his breath since we got here, waiting for me to call it. Good, he says, and that's all I need. He's with me, like he's been since the harbor. Piper's tougher to wake, grumbling as I shake her gently, her bunny falling to the floor. Time to go, kiddo, I say, brushing her hair back. Home, she mumbles, rubbing her eyes, and I nod, even though home feels like a lie right now. Yeah, home. She sits up, slow, and I help her pack her crayons and drawings while Julian stuffs his clothes into his bag. Why's Mommy not coming? Piper asks, her voice small, and I freeze, caught off guard. I kneel beside her, forcing a smile. She's got work to finish here, I say, and it's the last lie I'll tell her. I swear it to myself right then. She pouts but doesn't argue, and I feel the guilt twist in me, sharp and deep. Julian catches my eye, gives me a quick nod, like he gets it, like he's got my back, and I focus on that, on him, to keep moving. We're out the door by 6:30, bags in hand, the hallway quiet except for the hum of the elevator. I don't look at 718 as we pass, but I feel it there, a weight I'm leaving behind. At the airport, Myra's waiting. She must have checked out, figured we'd both. She's standing by the check-in counter, her suitcase beside her, her face pale and tired. Piper spots her first, breaking free of my hand and running over. Mommy! She yells, throwing her arms around Myra's legs, and Mira kneels, hugging her tight. I stop, a few feet back, Julian beside me, and watch them. It's a punch to the gut, Piper's joy, Myra's tears, but I don't move. Tom, she says, standing, her voice cracking as she holds Piper's hand. Can we talk? I shake my head, quick. Not now. Piper's looking up at us, confused, and I crouch down, brushing her cheek. Say bye to Mommy, okay? We've got a plane to catch. Myra's eyes widen, like she didn't expect this, but she nods, leaning down to kiss Piper's forehead. I'll see you soon, baby, she says, and Piper giggles, happy, clueless. Julian steps forward, stiff, and Mira reaches for him, but he just nods, barely a glance, and turns away. She looks at me, pleading, but I keep my eyes forward, taking Piper's hand. Let's go, guys, I say, and we walk toward security, leaving her there. On the plane, Piper's by the window again, chattering about the clouds, and Julian's next to me, earbuds in but one out, like he's keeping an ear on me. I lean back, closing my eyes, and let the hum of the engines drown out the noise in my head. Myra's face flashes, her in that robe, her crying last night, her hugging Piper, and I push it away, focusing on the kids. You okay, Dad? Julian asks, low, and I open my eyes, meeting his. Yeah, I say, and it's not a lie this time. You. He shrugs, but there's a flicker of something relief. Maybe. Better now, he says, and I nod, understanding. Piper's drawing again, a picture of us on the plane, and I watch her, her little hand moving fast across the page. No Mommy in this one? I ask, gentle, and she shakes her head. She's still in Boston, she says, matter of fact, and I let it go, leaning back again. The lie's done. I won't tell her more until she's ready, but I won't keep pretending either. When we land, the air's warmer, familiar, but the drive home feels off, like we're stepping into someone else's life. The house is quiet, too big without Myra's stuff scattered around, and I drop our bags by the door, exhausted. Piper runs to her room, Bunny in tow, and Julian lingers, watching me. We're good, right? He asks, and I pull him into a quick hug, rare for us, but he doesn't pull away. Yeah, bud. We're good. He heads upstairs, and I stand there, alone in the living room, staring at the couch where Mira used to sit. It's over, not loud, not explosive, just done, and I don't know what comes next, but I know we'll survive it. Piper's laughter drifts down, Julian's footsteps thud above me, and I hold on to that, the only thing that feels solid. We're different now, chipped and bruised, but we're still us. I breathe out, slow, and start unpacking, one step at a time. I'm standing in the kitchen, stirring a pot of mac and cheese, Piper's favorite, while she sits at the table, coloring a picture of a unicorn. It's been 3 days since we got back from Boston, and the house feels strange, like it's too big, too quiet without Myra's voice filling it up. Julian's upstairs, probably on his phone or playing that video game he's obsessed with, and I'm trying to keep things moving, keep us steady. The kids are my anchor now, the only thing keeping me from spinning out. Piper's humming, her little feet swinging under the chair, and I glance at her, smiling despite the ache in my chest. When's Mommy coming home? She asks, not looking up, her crayon scratching across the page. My hand freezes on the spoon, and I take a breath, turning down the stove so I can face her. She's gonna be gone a while, kiddo, I say, careful, keeping it light. Work stuff. It's not a lie. Not really, she's still in Boston. Or at least I think she is. But it's not the truth either. Piper nods, accepting it, and goes back to her drawing, but the question lingers, heavy in the air. I don't know how long I can dodge it. How long before she figures out Mommy's not coming back the way she used to. Julian comes down a minute later, his hair messy, his hoodie slung over his shoulder. He's been quiet since we got home, but not distant, more like he's watching, waiting, helping in his own way. Smells good, he says, grabbing a glass from the cabinet, and I nod, grateful for the normal. You hungry? I ask, and he shrugs, filling his glass with water. Always. I dish out the food, setting plates in front of them, and we eat together, the clink of forks the only sound for a while. Piper's chattering soon enough, telling us about her unicorn's magic powers, and Julian humors her, asking questions like he's really into it. I watch them, my chest loosening a little. He's stepping up, being the big brother she needs, and it's more than I could ask for. My phone buzzes on the counter, and I glance at it, Myra's name on the screen. I let it go to voicemail, same as the last few calls. She's been trying, leaving messages about talking and figuring things out, but I'm not ready. Not sure I ever will be. Julian catches me staring at the phone, and his eyes narrow, but he doesn't say anything, just keeps eating, keeping the peace. Later, my sister Nora shows up, her arms full of grocery bags and a smile that says she's here to save the day. Thought you could use some help, she says, setting the bags on the counter, and I don't argue. She's been a lifeline since we got back, popping in to cook or take Piper to school, giving me room to breathe. Thanks, I say, and she waves it off, already pulling Piper into a hug. Annie Nora. Piper squeals, and Nora laughs, scooping her up. How's my favorite niece? She asks, and Piper launches into a story about her unicorn drawing. Julian's in the living room now, flipping through channels, and I lean against the counter, watching Nora take over. She's good at this, better than me right now, and I'm glad she's here. You holding up? She asks later, when Piper's in bed and Julian's upstairs, her voice low so it stays between us. I shrug, rubbing my neck. Trying to. She nods, unpacking a bag of apples, and doesn't push, just lets me sit with it. She called again, I say, and Nora pauses, looking at me. What did she want? Same thing. To talk. To rebuild. I say it flat, no emotion, and Nora snorts, shaking her head. Rebuild what? She's the one who broke it. I don't argue can't, really, because she's right. The foundation's gone, cracked beyond repair, and Myra's words aren't enough to patch it. Night comes, and I'm tucking Piper in, her bunny under her arm, her eyes heavy. Will Mommy call tomorrow? She asks, sleepy, and I kiss her forehead, stalling. Maybe, sweetie. Get some sleep. She nods, drifting off, and I sit there a minute, watching her breathe, feeling the weight of keeping her world intact. Downstairs, Julian's still up, sprawled on the couch, the TV on low. You don't have to wait up for me, I say, dropping into the chair across from him. He shrugs. Not tired. I nod, and we sit there, the quiet stretching out. She's not coming back, is she? He says finally, not looking at me, his voice steady but raw. I take a breath, meeting his eyes when he glances over. Not like before, no. He nods, slow, like he's been bracing for it, and I see the hurt there, the anger, but also something solid, strength, maybe, or just him growing up too fast. We're okay without her, he says, and it's not a question, more a fact he's laying out. Yeah, I say, and I mean it. We are. The days blur after that, school drop-offs, dinners, Nora popping in with casseroles and bad jokes. Myra's calls keep coming, and I keep letting them go, her voicemails piling up like letters I'll never open. Piper asks less, distracted by her routine, and Julian's my shadow, quiet but there, helping with dishes or keeping Piper busy when I need a minute. It's not perfect. There's a hole where Mira used to be, and I feel it every time I walk past our bedroom, but we're rebuilding, piece by piece, without her. I lie awake that night, listening to the house settle, and realize I'm not waiting anymore, not for her, not for answers. It's just us now, and that's enough. For the first time since Boston, I fall asleep without the weight pressing down. I'm sitting at the kitchen table, the divorce papers spread out in front of me, a pen resting on the stack like it's daring me to move. It's been 3 weeks since Boston, 3 weeks of voicemails and silence, and now here we are, Mira across from me, her hands folded tight, her face calm but pale. The kids are upstairs, Piper's playing in her room, Julian's keeping an eye on her, and the house feels still, like it's holding its breath. She got here an hour ago, her suitcase by the door, and we've been dancing around this moment ever since. You sure about this? She asks, her voice soft, and I look up, meeting her eyes. They're the same eyes I fell for 17 years ago, but they don't pull me in anymore. Yeah, I say, simple, no room for doubt. She nods, slow, and picks up the pen, signing her name on the line quick, clean, like she's been ready for it too. It's not loud, not messy, just final, and I feel the air shift, lighter somehow, even with the ache still there. Piper's humming drifts down the stairs, that lullaby Mira used to sing, and it hits us both. She pauses, the pen still in her hand, and looks toward the sound. She's been doing that a lot, I say, filling the quiet. Misses you. Myra's eyes glisten, but she blinks it back, setting the pen down. I miss her too. Both of them. I nod, because I know it's true. She's not a monster, just a woman who broke us, but it doesn't change where we're at. You'll see them, I say, and it's not a promise, just a fact. We'll figure it out. She swallows, nodding again, and I sign my name under hers, the scratch of the pen loud in the stillness. It's done. 17 years, 2 kids, a life we built, gone with 2 signatures. I lean back, staring at the papers, and it's not relief, not yet. But it's close, a door closing, a weight lifting off my chest. Tom, she says, hesitant, will you ever forgive me? I look at her, really look, and see the guilt there, the regret, but also the woman who chose Colin 3 times, who let months slip by without a word. Maybe, I say honest. Someday. For the kids. But not now. She nods, accepting it, and stands, smoothing her shirt like she's brushing off the moment. I'll get my stuff later, she says, glancing at the suitcase. I'm staying with a friend for now. I don't ask who, don't care, really, and just nod, standing too. She heads for the door, and I follow, keeping my distance. Piper's singing gets louder, and Mira stops, turning back. Tell her I'll call tomorrow, she asks, and I say, yeah, I will. She opens the door, steps out, and I watch her go, her shadow stretching across the porch in the late afternoon light. The door shuts, and I stand there, alone, listening to the house settle around me. Julian comes down a minute later, quiet as ever, and sits across from me at the table. The papers are still there, and he glances at them, then at me. It's over, he asks, his voice steady but low. Yeah, I say, sliding them into a folder, out of sight. He nods, leaning back, and I can see it, the hurt still there, but also something solid, like he's ready to move on. You okay, bud? I ask, and he shrugs, a small smirk tugging at his mouth. Better than I thought. I laugh, soft, and it feels good, real, like the first crack of light after a long night. Me too, I say, and he sits with me, the silence easy now, not heavy. Piper's voice floats in again, that lullaby, and I close my eyes, letting it wash over me. It's Myra's song, but it's Piper's now, and that's enough, more than enough. The next few hours are quiet, dinner, dishes, Piper's bedtime routine. She's in her pajamas, clutching her bunny, and I tuck her in, sitting on the edge of her bed. Mommy called? She asks, sleepy, and I shake my head. Not yet. She said tomorrow. Piper nods, yawning, and I kiss her forehead, watching her drift off. Downstairs, Julian's on the couch, the TV on low, and I join him, sinking into the cushions. She's gone for good. Huh. He says, not looking at me, and I nod. Yeah, just us now. He doesn't say anything, just keeps watching the screen, but I feel it. He's here, solid as ever, my quiet strength. We sit there, the house humming around us, and for the first time since Boston, I breathe easy, no weight, no storm, just us. The days ahead won't be simple, I know that. Piper will ask questions, Julian will carry his hurt, and I'll have to figure out this new life, piece by piece. But sitting here, with my kids close, I know we're okay. Different, yeah, scarred, maybe, but okay. The papers are filed, Myra's gone, and the future's ours now, not hers. I lean back, closing my eyes, and listen to Piper's faint humming upstairs, a sound that's ours alone. We've got this. One step at a time, we'll make it.